For about 6 years now, Iran has been expanding and accelerating its nuclear program. It's been reducing the amount of time until it has a nuclear weapon capability if that regime chooses that route. According to the UN nuclear watchdog that inspects Iran's enrichment plans, Iran is now enriching uranium to up to 60% purity. And according to the International Atomic Energy Agency's definition, that means Iran has enough material, theoretically, for 2 nuclear weapons. And what's even more concerning is that, as Reuters reports, that means Iran's so-called breakout time, the time it would need to produce enough weapons-grade uranium for a nuclear bomb, is close to zero, likely a matter of weeks or days. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, a nuclear-armed Iran could pose such a threat to so many countries. Why wouldn't anyone figure out or even attempt to keep Iran at bay? The answer is, they did. We did. And it was working until the United States, under Donald Trump and under immense pressure from Benjamin Netanyahu, let it fall apart. That mechanism was the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, the JCPOA, or more commonly known as the Iran nuclear deal. In 2015, after nearly a decade of negotiations, the U.S., UK, China, France, Russia, Germany, they signed on to the JCPOA, which loosened sanctions on Iran in exchange for strict limits on the country's nuclear program. The goal of the deal was to prevent Iran from reviving its nuclear weapons program, but the agreement did even more than that. It opened up a line of communication between the signatories of the deal and Iran. The JCPOA was a multilateral diplomacy tool which helped reduce the prospects of conflict between Iran and its rivals in the region. It's widely considered one of President Obama's most important international diplomacy achievements. And for all intents and purposes, the deal was working. In 2016 and 2017, the International Atomic Energy Agency certified that Iran had met its preliminary pledges, agreeing not to produce uranium to the point of nuclear enrichment. But in 2018, President Donald Trump pulled the U.S. out of the agreement, unraveling the deal, rendering it ineffective and causing a ripple effect for years to come. Trump called the deal, quote, rotten and one-sided, and he reinstated devastating banking and oil sanctions on Iran, which crippled its economy once again. Iran and all the other signatories to the deal kept their part of the bargain. America didn't. So in 2019, Iran began enriching uranium at higher levels and developed new centrifuges for uranium enrichment. And last year, United Nations inspectors found that Iran was enriching uranium to close to weapons-grade levels. But Iran's escalations exploded beyond nuclear development. That's evident in what's happening in the Middle East right now. The Iranian regime and its proxy groups have increased their regional aggression. Iran-backed militias have continued to help fuel insurgencies and civil wars in Syria and Yemen. Iran is now more embattled, and it is more emboldened. Moderates who existed within the Iranian government when the 2015 nuclear deal was signed are gone. In 2020, a new hardline Iranian parliament was sworn in. While already existing domestic politics had a lot to do with Iran's shift in government, many experts say Trump pulling America out of the deal pushed the hardliners to the front of the Iranian regime. And all of this made it nearly impossible for President Biden to undo the damage. When Biden came into power, negotiating with Iran was basically hopeless. But it wasn't for lack of trying. For the first year of Biden's presidency, his administration attempted to resurrect the 2015 nuclear deal, but Tehran refused to engage directly with U.S. diplomats. Talks have now been stop and go for several years. Iran has long been a dominant power in the Middle East and beyond. The regime's influence reaches corners of international conflicts you may have never even heard of. Not to mention, Iran has some powerful friends in countries that the rest of the world considers foes. Russia, China, North Korea, 3 malevolent actors with nuclear power. The 2015 Iran nuclear deal built at least some good faith between Iran and the West. It created an avenue for discussion, an avenue for diplomacy. Without it, America has no negotiating partner across the table, either to help settle Israel's war with Hamas or to bring down the temperature between Israel and Iran. Hey everyone, MSNBC has a new and improved app. You'll get real-time alerts and analysis, live blogs, in-depth essays, video highlights, and the best 2024 election coverage. Download the new MSNBC app. Here's how to do it. You tap on the App Store on your phone. You hit search on the bottom right corner. You type in MSNBC. You click on the MSNBC app. You click on Get or the cloud icon and enjoy it.